Kristen Arnold of Lenore, North Carolina, wrote to us wondering what it would be like to be a race car driver.
You know, Ilana, I bet it's pretty fast-paced.
And that's what Kristen thought, too. So we arranged for her to spend the day with IndyCar driver Lynn St. James.
I've always been so interested in racing. I was just brought up watching it. I love it.
Kristen Arnold loves the speed and excitement of race car driving. So we sent her to meet the top woman driver in the world, Lynn St. James.
Are you ready for this?
Oh, yes.
Well, I'm going to tell you a lot about it because it may, it's fun, it's exciting, but it's also a lot of work.
The first step for new race car drivers is a maneuverability exercise to test reflexes and coordination.
When Lynn and I went around the cone, we got up to about 35 miles an hour, and it felt like we were going 135. And, I mean, it was just amazing how quick her reflexes are and how she looked straight ahead.
Okay, kiddo, it's your turn. You ready?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Lynn explained to Kristen about concentration and being in sync with the car.
As soon as you've made the pylon, you want to get back to center. So you turn the car and then back to center, turn the car. Ah! That's good. That's better. That's better. See, that way you keep the weight balance of the car centered more.
Ah! Despite that one crutch, Kristen quickly got the hang of driving on the track. So it was time for hot laps, taking the car to its absolute limit.
I got you your own helmet.
Oh, thank you.
And suit. You got to have all the right equipment before you can get serious and go fast. But let's go do it, and let's go change and get ready.
It takes more than fast driving to handle a race car. Stretching exercises are critical before a race. In the event of a wreck, warmed-up muscles stand less chance of an injury.
What is the fastest speed you've ever been?
Well, on the straightaway at Indianapolis, they clocked me at 235 miles an hour.
It must be scary going that fast.
Well, you're paying attention, but you're not scared. You're so into the car. You're so into what you're doing that you don't really have time to get scared.
I know that you had a really bad wreck. What was that like, and how did that happen?
A guy hit me from the rear, and I was going about 180 miles an hour when he hit me, and so all three of us just sort of went off as missiles. I ended up on top of the railing. I rode on top of the wall upside down, landed upside down. The car spun around, burst in flames. And so it was probably the worst crash for sure in my career, and they said in the history of that speedway.
Lynn's courage fueled Kristen's desire to get behind the wheel of a real race car. But the Formula 2000 is just a baby compared to an Indy car.
This Formula 2000 has about 150 horsepower. My Indy car has 850 horsepower. It's a lot more power, a lot more car under you. It takes a lot of experience to finally earn your right to be up in an Indy car. I mean, I've been racing for 17 years, and it took me about 15 years just to be able to get into the Indy car ranks.
Kristen doesn't have the experience to drive a real race car, but after watching Lynn's hot tracks, she was ready to get behind the wheel of a souped-up passenger car and feel the speed.
Off we go.
We got faster and faster and faster, and it was amazing. We got up to like 80 miles an hour, and it felt like 300 maybe, and it was just great. What kind of G-forces do you get in your race car?
Well, believe it or not, in an Indy car on the oval, like at Indy or at Michigan, we pull about 3 Gs. And I mean, a jet up in the fighter jet will pull about 5 Gs. So, we're close to the same kind of Gs that they pull in a jet.
After a long day of learning about cars, exercises, and driving, Kristen had the chance to test everything she learned by racing Lynn.
Hey, Kristen, we're going to go racing now. I want you to give it your best shot, but keep the shiny side up and the rubber side down.
I can't believe I'm actually driving this by myself. After spending the day with Lynn and watching her drive and seeing how hard she's worked, it amazes me, and I would love to become a race car driver. I love this! I'll have the most fun!
Good job.
Wow, it must have been a total rush for Kristen to drive with Lynn.
I wouldn't be surprised if Kristen ends up in the Indy 500 someday.
Well, if there's something you'd like to BRC, write to us at What I Want to BRC, Mickey Mouse Club Disney, MGM Studios, P.O. Box 10200, Lake Buena Vista, Florida, 32830.
And be sure to include your name, address, and telephone number.